This is The Professionals, a podcast by music business technology and broadcast media technology students on Outcast OCCR Owens Community College Radio. In this series, students will interview industry professionals in their respective fields to help gather an idea of what it's like to work in their industry.
Hello, my name is Russell Gronbach. Welcome to the Business Professionals Podcast. I'm speaking with Justin Feldkamp, who is the BCSN/BCAN Program Director / Anchor for Broadcast Broadband. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Russell. Glad to be on.
What was the moment that got you into this industry?
Growing up, I had an interest in sports and played sports. Really, you name a sport, I played it when I was a kid. And just watching ESPN and Sports Center before school, and I just thought that it looked like a fun job. And I enjoyed writing, and I enjoyed video and highlights. And I thought, well, if I can't play a sport at the college or professional level, this would be a way to really enjoy and follow a passion. So I decided to look into it and try to find colleges that could help me explore that field and that industry, and ended up at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. And really sunk my teeth into everything that they offered there in journalism and in TV and radio and public address announcing, and just went from there.
Do you have any long-term goals related to your career?
You know, I just want to be where my feet are and make it as good as I can, make the product that we put on at BCSN and 13ABC as good as it can be, make everything we do bigger and better, and constantly trying to evaluate where we can get things better, whether that's video or storytelling or on-air talent for play-by-play, reporters, anchors, color analysts. I'm a firm believer in where you are right now. That's what you should be focused on. You shouldn't be one or two steps ahead. Just be where you are, and that will eventually take you to the next step and the next step after that.
Has there been a tough challenge of your career?
You know, when we had the pandemic, sports was shut down for many intents and purposes. We had to pivot and do news-related coverage as a result of that. That was a troublesome time for a lot of people, a lot of families. You know, a lot of people miss sports and what sports does, bringing people together in either small communities or big stadiums. That was a challenge, and your passion is put on hold for a second there. So that was definitely a difficult moment.
What kept you motivated through that time, as it was difficult for all of us?
You know, I thought that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it really, for some outdoor sports and maybe at the youth level, it wasn't, a year or more. And that happened in March of 2020, and we had some youth softball tournaments and baseball tournaments and outdoor activities that were taking place in May. So it was a 2 to 3 month period where things were kind of completely shut down. I didn't really have a fear that sports is never going to come back or sports is going to take forever to come back. You just still got to do what you're assigned to do each day, and I have a family, and you still got to pay a mortgage payments, and you still got to put food on the table and put gas in the car and all that kind of stuff. So you just did what you had to do each and every day.
What skills do you feel are most useful within the industry?
You got to be able to write, need to read a lot. If you want to be good in the television, radio, magazine writing, newspaper writing, online writing, digital, you need to be well-versed in what you're talking about. It's extremely easy to watch someone on TV and say, that person does not know what they're talking about, or that person is not great or needs to improve in their presentation on TV. I tell everybody at the college level who asks me, or when I do interviews like this, I say, read, and read some more. You'll never know when you need some type of information that you would need to recall. It might be 6 weeks from the time in which you read it, or it might be 6 months that you're going to need to recall something that you read before, or when you did an interview with someone before. But you need to read. You need to practice your craft. So if you want to be a writer, you need to write some form of fashion, whether that's sports or non-sports related, you need to do that. And then if you're running a camera, using a camera, you need to go use a camera. If you're doing interviews, you need to go do interviews. If you are editing, you need to learn how to edit, get really good at editing. If you're hosting or anchoring or reporting, you need to do all those. So don't just say, I want to be a reporter, I want to be an anchor. Well, take the actions now kind of thing, whether it's small scale at Owens Community College where you guys are and going out and covering the Owens Community College baseball, basketball, volleyball team or what have you, go do it. Most people, nearly all people, whether they're a coach or an athletic director or a player, they're going to be open to any type of coverage, whether it's at the immediate campus level or the community city level or national level. Take advantage of any opportunity. And if you don't think there's opportunities, create one for your own. Knock on doors, make phone calls, text somebody. Hey, I want to do this. I'm interested in this. My name's so-and-so. I want to try to do this. Or would you be open to that? Can you schedule some time for me? And just kind of be a go-getter and take initiative to gain that experience that you're definitely going to need, and then that experience will pay off down the line.
So speaking of college, did you go to college for your industry?
Yes, as mentioned, Ohio University.
What kind of hands-on opportunities were available to you there?
They had a high school football show called Gridiron Glory, so I was a reporter for that. I was the public address announcer for women's soccer and women's volleyball. I hosted a radio show. I did radio sports reports early in the mornings and the afternoons. I was the WOUP TV sports director my senior year. I hosted a OU football coaches show on a weekly basis during the football season. There was plenty of opportunities there, and in conjunction and in addition to all of the required classes that I took for curriculum and academic credit to be able to get a diploma 4 years later, all that was part of the necessity, but I chose to go kind of above and beyond and go do stuff at the local PBS radio and TV affiliate to gain even more experience.
What advice would you share with students on what courses they should take to develop their skills?
I would meet with an advisor and I would say, here's what I'm interested in. What does this school have to offer when it comes to my interests and passions and what I would like to do with my immediate and then longer term future? Start there. An advisor should have a list of classes that are available within that industry or field. And then I would suggest doing interviews like this where you can get some real hand experience with someone who is in that career. Search for internships, whether that's in town or out of town. Find opportunities, find ways for someone to gain some experience to really not just go to a class, but in addition to that, be able to learn how to write in a broadcast style, be able to talk on TV or talk on radio or talk on podcasts. That's what I would suggest.
I asked you earlier about what was the toughest challenge of your career. So what has been like the funnest part of your career?
You know, I'm a believer in what I mentioned earlier about how sports brings people together. And sports can be awesome. Sport can be tragic. Sports can be exhilarating. It can be defeating. But some way, whether it's a small team at a youth level or it's a junior varsity team or a varsity team at the high school level, college level, or professional team, it brings people, brings coaches, brings players, brings parents and families together, communities together. I just really enjoy that aspect of it. When I get to participate and have a small role in that as a whole, it feels pretty special to be able to tell people stories, to be able to deliver highlights and put a smile on somebody's face if I say their name on TV after they score a touchdown or hit a home run or make a three-pointer to win a game kind of thing. So recognizing excellence in sports or just sharing those stories, they can really touch somebody in a heartfelt way or can make people smile, make people cry, make people laugh. I really enjoy being able to do that.
I would like to thank you so much for your time, and thank you for allowing me to do this podcast interview with you. I have been speaking with Justin Feldkamp, who is the BCSN/BCAN Program Director / Anchor for Buckeye Broadband. On behalf of my audio engineer, I'm Russell Gronbach.
This has been the Professionals Podcast by Music Business Technology and Broadcast Media Technology students. Join us next time on Outcast OCCR Owens Community College Radio.